Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about the Visa Bulletin, what it says, what it means, what it entails, and why it is so important to know and follow in the immigration space. My name is Yalda Hajavi, and I'm an immigration attorney. I focus my practice primarily on employment-based immigration and family-based immigration. Let's get started. The Visa Bulletin is something that I need to follow and look at monthly, weekly, sometimes bi-weekly. It's a crucial document because it essentially determines when eligible applicants are able to file for their actual green cards. As a little bit of a background, when people want to file for a family-based or employment-based immigrant visa, otherwise known as a green card, it's always a two-step process. So in the family-based world, first we need to show that you're eligible for the underlying petition by filing the form I-130. In the employment-based world, we have to show that you're eligible for the underlying petition by filing the form I-140. Once those forms are approved, we have to see if you can file for the green card itself, and that is determined by the Visa Bulletin. The Visa Bulletin is issued each month by the Department of State, and it has different quotas for different visa categories or immigrant visa categories for different countries. In the family-based world, if you are a spouse, parent, or child, so under 21 years old, of a U.S. citizen, you don't need to look at the Visa Bulletin. As soon as your I-130 is approved, if you're abroad, you can file through the consulate. If you're in the U.S., you can file for Form 485, which is a green card application, concurrently with your I-130. But let's say you don't fall under those categories. Then you need to look at the Visa Bulletin to see, depending on the country that you're from, when your priority date is current, which on the Visa Bulletin, there's a big C. That means it's current and you can file for your green card. In the employment-based world, it's a little bit different because they don't really care about the relationship between the employer and the employee, but it's more about the preference category that you're applying under based on your skills. So, for example, the EB1 category has historically been current, meaning there's no backlogs in the number of visas available for applicants filing under that category. The rest of the categories is affluent, to be positive. It's actually backlogged, but we keep track of it and hoping that priority dates become more current as we progress in time. Another key component to keep in mind with the Visa Bulletin, both in the family-based world and the employment-based world, is that there are more backlogs if you're from certain countries, and that's China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines. So let's talk about the EBU1 world. If you are from India, there's still a backlog for getting your green card under that category, but it's a lot less than if you were filing for and under the EB2 category. If you're from France or Italy or Portugal, I'm using all European countries as examples, there are no backlogs under the EB1 category, and you can file for your green card right away if your I-140 is approved. You can also file for it concurrently, although, that depends on the strength of the case. Really important to also keep in mind that there are two different charts that you need to follow in the Visa Bulletin. There's a dates for filing chart and a final actions chart. If you're in the US, you want to go on USCIS's website at the time that your I-130 or I-140 is approved to see what chart USCIS has determined for you to follow to file for your green card. If you're abroad, it's typically following the dates of filing chart. The difference is typically slight between the two, but it's important. The last thing you want to do is file for something before you're able to. The Visa Bulletin changes, and it does so without notice to a lot of attorneys. I think a question I get often in my practice is, can I predict where the Visa Bulletin is going? And I wish I could. Life would be a lot easier if I could see into the future, but unfortunately, there's no way to really predict where it's going. We can look at trends to see how the bulletin has progressed throughout the fiscal year, and if we've been seeing improvements of 1 month or 2 months or a few weeks, we can expect it to progress similarly, although there's no guarantee. But if we have seen no movement in a particular category, chances are that a mass amount of visas, green cards aren't going to become available now to help with this backlog. So really, really important to keep the Visa Bulletin in mind whenever you're applying for your green card, because just because you have that I-130 approved or that I-140 approved, it doesn't mean that you can actually even file for your green card today. You need to follow the preference category that you filed under and then move forward from there. In terms of updates with the Visa Bulletin right now, we're in the month of April, going into May 2025. Haven't seen a lot of movement across any of the categories. There's been slight improvements, I should say, in the employment-based world, but nothing drastic where it's been a few years, for example. So we'll see how the rest of the year goes. The fiscal year for the Visa Bulletin starts in October of every year. We keep our hopes up, and hopefully there are going to be less backlogs and more visas available so that you can file for your green card as soon as you're eligible. Thank you so much for joining me in this video, and hope that you'll continue to follow other videos that me and my colleagues make. Thank you. Bye-bye.